Today on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, we have something so beautiful that I just felt like it needed a formal unveiling. Something so breathtaking, so magical, with such tasteful elegance like nothing we've ever seen before on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network. And so, with that, I present to you this gorgeous, angelic keepsake music maker. Now, it's not a music box. This is a music maker. It is a standalone, beautiful piece of art that you'll want to have in your home today. Now, I do want to go through and show you some of the details in this gorgeous piece because I doubt you've ever seen anything quite like it before. Now, I've got this shimmery fabric underneath because I wanted to show a little bit how the way that this is molded, it makes it a little bit opaque. So you can kind of see through to the other side. You see that? And what this beautiful music piece does is not only make you think of magical fantasy lands, the gates of heaven, beautiful angelic figurines, right? But it also plays a lovely tune. So I do want to show you, or rather have you listen to the beautiful tune in just a moment as well. But I'm going to go ahead and remove this sparkly fabric from underneath. Okay. Yeah, this has some heft. You're going to want to lift it with two hands, mainly because it's so beautiful and precious and you don't want to break it. But it's not a bad idea to go ahead and use a two-handed lift in order to move this beautiful piece around. Now, keep in mind, when we ship this from the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, it comes in a box. And within that box, there is a mold-injected foam piece that goes around the cover. There's a plastic cover, and so it is very secure, encased in this foam inside of a well-packaged box. And on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, we ship all of our items first-class mail. So you know you've got the guarantee of your package arriving on time and in one piece. First up, I want to show you the music box dancer. This lady, she's definitely the musician, right? So look at the beautiful detail in here. She's wearing a lovely dress. She's got a beautiful reddish, maybe even an auburn hair color. And she's playing the lute, I believe. Is that what that is? She's not just playing the lute, but she also spins around in a circle as she plays. So she's dancing and playing at the same time. And it wouldn't just be, this isn't her solo, right? She's got a couple of other cherubs, if you will, in her band. There's this little fella down there, and then up at the top, you've got this interesting, looks like more of an adult player here. And I believe his head has come off and been glued back on, but that's neither here nor there. He is playing, it looks like a flute. So we've got tiny harp player, flute cherub, and then classic lady with the lute dancing in a circle here, right? Now, the fella down here is playing, oh gosh, I think it is a hand harp. It's not a full-size harp, and honestly, I think he'd be a little bit too young for full-size harp because that takes up a lot of space. Even angels don't have that much space to be just carrying harps around. even though you do see a lot of angels playing harps, the hand harp is a lot better of a starter harp instrument than going right to full-size harp. But I don't want to dissuade anyone from playing the harp. Anyways, now lute. I imagine them, is this an angelic scene? Is this heaven? Or is it just a whimsical lady in her art parlor, in her foyer, playing music as guests enter? Perhaps it's not even her house, and this was just a strange three-piece band that some rich eccentric person hired to welcome guests into their home. I'm not sure. And if that was the case, I would imagine they probably served small sandwiches or something. And it's like a daytime garden party. And instead of going straight out to the garden, they had folks come in through the grand foyer. And then the host would come down the steps to then greet. And they just wanted to hire some musicians. But that could be it. It could be it. But it could be her house. But it could be his house too. Their house. I don't know whose house it is. It's a beautiful house though, and I'll show you why. We have a beautiful dramatic staircase. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19. 19 stairs to lead you up into the upper level of the home. It's not even an upper level though, without having a beautiful window window focal piece at the top of the stairs. When you have a staircase like that, you do want to make sure that you let in ample sunlight, because that's how you're going to have that dramatic kind of glowing effect going down the whole house. And then in this staircase scenario, you go up the stairs, and it's not a spiraled case, but it kind of curls around into the upper level of the home. And I believe it's got a pretty sturdy rail here. It's rather large when you look at it in terms of holding on to it, but it is the kind of rail that would be fun to slide down to quickly get from the upper level down to the bottom level. Depending on how high up it is. Want to be safe about it. There's also some lattice work here. It's almost as if we're bringing the outdoors in, and it's like a garden party on the inside, because there's lattice work here. I don't see anything growing on it, but it's there. And then we have beautiful ornate details. This house is on the Baroque side. It's got a lot of or Rococo. It's got a lot of flourishes everywhere. There's flourishes here. There's flourishes there. It almost looks like there's pearls on the staircase. I haven't seen that before. Now, while this is a really spectacular home setting, we can see that the flourishes and details of the inside of this home go all the way around to the back of this piece. If you were to have this, not facing your, the outside of your mantle, something like that, and you just turned it around when company came over, you said, "Oh, that?" Bam. They would go, "Wow, it's so beautiful." No wonder you keep it facing that way, because people will just be distracted, won't be able to carry out a conversation because they're staring at all the elegance and beauty in this beautiful music piece. Now there is this face on the bottom, and I'm wondering if this is another cherub. This face, it's a little uneasy. It feels like it's holding the haunted music of the box. Now this is not a haunted music box. We do have some of those in stock at the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, but they don't come out until, at least late August or September for the Halloween holiday. So it's not haunted, but it is sort of a haunting figurine that is at the face of this beautiful music box. Now, we also see these ornate details and hand-painted elements of gold, silver, and this beautiful pastel, almost wavy, curly patterns throughout here. Now, it kind of reminds me of a beautiful cake. Like, imagine a delicious birthday cake and it was decorated with these lines. Lines that kind of go all which ways. These textured bits, like a dotted piece. You know, something that adds a lot of a border around a cake, right? And then it also makes me think of cake in the sense that it's got the pastel color theme. Now, because it's pastel, it's going to go great in any bathroom, living room, not so much for the rumpus room because you don't want people rumpusing around such a beautiful piece of art like this. But you could put it there. Definitely a bedroom. You could put it in the bathroom, but these do have some structures that should not be exposed to high moisture over a long period of time because you don't want to lose that spinning action, right? So I'm just going to twirl that back in here. Now, you could put it in a room where maybe it gets like splashed a little bit, and what you'll want to do in that case, if it does get a little bit splashed, you will want to just dry it off with a cloth. Same thing if it gets dirty. Don't use any harsh solvents on this. You're going to want to dry it off with a damp cloth. Nothing too crazy on it though, okay? Looking at the hand-painted details, you've got the hand painting of the figurines, the beautiful blue. It's almost like a robin's egg blue. This is a big robin's egg floating on a magical cloud. And I think this is maybe my favorite part about this piece. It's these two pillars. And there's nothing that says, you know, a really gorgeous, classical, Baroque, Rococo, fancy house-like pillars. Now, they're not the kind of pillars that are just sticking up in the house, right? But they're just decorative pillars with statues. So you got two statues on the side, right? I've never seen anything quite like that in a real house. Behind those statues, that's where you've got some more of the floral elements. So it goes pillar, statue, floral elements. And then the viewer of this, their eye is really drawn to that. There is art within this art. I've never seen anything quite like it. There's yet another arch in the back here, but next to that, there's a beautiful ornate painting under a lovely sitting couch. That's not a fainting couch, or it's not a chaise, but it's a beautiful antique couch. And then there's yet another piece back here as well. So there's two pieces of art within this artwork. There's even wainscoting. Have you ever seen something so intricate? I don't know if I have. I certainly haven't on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network. You know, at first glance, you might think it's a radiator, but no. This is a pre-radiator household. There's art. There's decorative frames. There's arches galore. The carpet even. Look at that. The carpet is like made of beads and pearls. And other beautiful, beautiful pieces. Now, looking at this piece, you're probably thinking, this is going to break the bank. Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, I don't have the money for that right now. But I need this. I absolutely need this. Right? Well, don't worry, because this is for a limited time only. This beautiful music box, music art piece could be yours today for the low price of $59.99. Now, this is an heirloom that's going to stay in your family for many years to come. Many, many years to come. And, you know, folks are going to be fighting over it. It's so beautiful. So $59.99, that's actually a great deal. This is really a substantial piece that you're going to want to have in your collection. Now, before you make the decision to call, I bet you want to hear the song, right? So I present to you, after I wind this up a bit, music box song. Gosh, it's so beautiful. What a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of art that you could have in your home today. So, I want you to call soon because this is a limited time only offer on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network. Do we have a caller? Okay. Yeah, caller, go ahead.
Hi, it's Marcy. I actually got a book about angels not too long ago, and reading through it, I read all about the different angels and their different names and what they like to do for fun and how they like their eggs prepared, and it was really interesting. Now, there was also a part in the book about how angels actually look, and apparently the way they talk about them in the Bible, they have a lot more eyes. So I don't believe that what you have there is an angel. I think it's likely what you mentioned about a three-piece band that a rich, eccentric person paid for to have them play lutes and harps in their foyer. So, you know, this is just from me doing my research in this angel book. But I do believe that those are not actually angels, but it's just a three-piece band. They're wearing wings like an angel would, but it's just a regular musicians. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Well, that's really interesting. Thank you so much for calling. And yeah, thank you for sharing. Okay, that does it for us on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network. Call us today for your chance to get a beautiful exclusive offer on this really spectacular music art piece that could be yours today for $59.99.